Greetings, everyone. I am Nirvana Sparkle, and this is a new 26 special. By the way, heads up, new 26 9 to 5 begins at this time slot, or just around it, next week, where we'll talk about the season opener, the beginning of the end. Appropriate title for it. But on to why we're here. Equestria Girls has had many specials / movies over the course of its time. And here we are at its third TV special. If you count the two movie and music magic mini specials, it's the fourth and the fifth. This one is called appropriately Spring Breakdown. Sadly, it is a breakdown. A breakdown of one great idea and one great third act to about the end of the second one, but a horrible, brutal, dare I say almost at times torturous first act. Now, if you don't like the spoiler things, here's your chance to get out now, because I am about to spoil the whole thing, and I'm sure Hasbro's YouTube channel will probably split this up into a set of 3 or 4 shorts that they'll probably start airing on Friday. Seeing that they did the same thing with Roller Coaster Friendship last year. So, Twy and our Human Harmony 7 are on spring break on a cruise ship. And everything seems to be going smoothly. Everybody's having a good time. The boat is rocking. Except for Rainbow Dash. She's paranoid as all heck. Now, at first, this is okay. After all, her reasoning is correct. Every time they seem to be on a big adventure or whatnot, equestrian magic tends to break out like a superhero movie or an episode of Power Rangers. Just a normal day, and then all of a sudden evil attacks. Well, Rainbow wants to nip the old cliche in the bud and get right to it, much to the annoyance of not only the audience but everyone else, leading to each member of our intrepid group having a worse and a worse time on the cruise. But the person who's having the worst time on this cruise throughout the whole thing is poor Applejack. She's got seasickness, and it's saddening. It's almost crushing. It's tragic. I feel bad for her. That's the only person I really feel bad for. I don't feel bad, however, for Rainbow for going in the classic full-on loser mode in her paranoia. If this weren't a family channel, I would have used another word. And trust me, some might also use that in the description of this. But everything is ruined. That is until a mysterious thunderstorm rolls in. Rainbow Dash sees a familiar symbol to us. The symbol of the Storm King. That's right, Storm King from the movie, that dead guy. His residual magic is causing trouble. And Rainbow, being Rainbow, goes off on her own to try to discover its source and stop it. Of course, the rest of the group can't see it because convenient until after the fact that Rainbow runs off, which causes the ship to have a ton of different problems and even start sinking like the Titanic. At least the band wasn't playing as the ship went down. That would have been extremely corny. In that effort, they find an uncharted island. An uncharted island that leads back to our Equestria normal, in which Sunset returns to Equestria proper with her world's Rainbow Dash and her world's Twilight, which leads to maybe the most comically funny segment in the whole setup. Twilight literally having fun and snacks and other things with the otherworldly version of herself. It's Twiceception. And I love it. But of course, if you know me in this channel, of course you know I would. It's only then that we find out the magical hook, the magical MacGuffin needed to save the day. The normal Equestria Girls stuff. The final third practically becomes like the other finales of everything else. Except there's no villain here. There's no overarching bad guy looking to do bad things with equestrian magic. It's just equestrian magic on the random. This, however, leaves the equestrian magic angle in this special obviously feeling shortchanged and unneeded. And it almost feels like this special has no grounding at all to really be there, except for the equestrian section near the end to the final third of the special. Outside of that, there's nothing really eventful here. The moral is, of course, sticking together through thick and thin no matter what the trouble, but sadly the evil doesn't really exude this moral, nor does the situation adhere to it. Even the song is short and largely out of the way. All good. And yes, there is subplots, jokes that go on way too long, like Pinkie Pie desiring a extremely rare dessert and the cook slash chef that's trying to serve it but just can't. In fact, the only payoff to that joke is the fact that the very dessert that Pinkie is after is the thing that ends up saving the cook's life from the sinking ship. Outside of that, we have a slight romantic subplot with Rarity and this guy named Ruffian who happens to do Irish step dancing. and somehow talks in a rather Albert twisty Irish voice until the last third when we find out it's all front. Everything feels unlike the other specials and even the movies half baked here. Yes, it's good to see Sunset and the Human Girls again in a big special. Yes, it's great to see Equestria acknowledged here, and even that great section with the jokes. And Sci-Twi getting used to being a pony is classic Twilighting. And yes, that's a canon word. Let me just say here, the fact that Twilighting is a canon word, and I've been saying it for 2 years now, kinda freaks me out. But enough about that. The sad thing about Spring Breakdown is, other than the jokes, which some of them are genuinely good, and the animation being awesome as part of the usual DHX, there isn't any substance here. It's just getting the girls together to have them do something, and then something happens that has no weight, no support, and really no moral reason to even be happening. I mean, to drop the Storm King's name again, think what lies beneath, and literally have it be grab its former magical staff and hand wave the evil away feels anticlimactic compared to the other specials that have strong moral grounding and importance and teach a strong interpersonal lesson while having a redeemed, naturally, but strong and somewhat charismatic villain. Think Rainbow Rocks with the Sirens, or even Gweniosa from Legend of Everfree. It just feels empty here, and that's really the sad part. If you're looking for a fun time with a few good jokes and a few good references here and there, yeah, there's something here, and especially with the Twiception. Yes, it's all good, but sadly, it's the weakest of the specials thus far. The weakest, probably, of the Equestria Girls related material since the first movie. And coming from here, however, it's the weakest Equestria Girls material ever. Even I rated the first movie a 3. Sadly, this only gets a 2 out of 6. It's nice to see the girls back together. It's nice to have a fun time. But next time, have it mean a little something. And bring the substance back. And stop making Rainbow Dash look like the biggest buzzkill in the history of everything. That would help too. And after the series of shorts that we've gotten before this, it's really a bummer. So what are your thoughts on Spring Breakdown? Leave it down in the comments below. And until next week, when we start our quest to the end. Man, it's gonna get crazy. I'm Nirvana Sparkle. find peace in your own nirvana. And apparently, I'll find spring because it's snowing here in mine. See you next week.